Moving up and down again. There's no discharge in the war. There's no discharge in the war.
Not a bad idea at all. Fucking Hagar.
Fucking Hagar. Alright, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Shepherd's Pie. Today, we're doing the Bible again.
And I'm Tommy.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah. Did I even say my name?
No.
And I'm David. We should just keep going from there. So, I don't know if we did chapter 15 justice. We both kind of fucking spaced out.
Last episode was an effort. I was very tired.
No,
I was super tired, and
I definitely remember going through the whole thing, but I don't remember that last chapter.
Yeah, it was tough for me to kind of sussing out exactly what we covered and where we left off, but I don't know. We do record these pretty late, guys.
Yeah.
We're doing them, we both have full-time jobs and lives and stuff, and so we try to get the casts out when we can. We try to record when we can.
It's almost
Ends up
consistently
being pretty late
on our day off at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yep. Every day off we have, we're trying to get something cranked out for you guys, so if we're a little tired sometimes, I mean, it's just kind of the rhythms of life, but we'll always try to put forth our best foot, Just sometimes give us a little grace, cut us a little slack,
And back to the intro, though. I feel like I tore that up. Didn't we have something we were calling the Bible casts? Or no? A slice of sermon.
No, what was it? It was something along those lines, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I lost.
I don't know. Well, it's all right.
If you guys got good names for the Bible segment, leave it in the comments, because we need something good to call this.
100%.
But we're picking back up Genesis 16.
Yes, this is we're getting into some hot zone stuff with this one.
Yeah, Tommy says, the Hagar story. I'm like, I don't remember Hagar, but we'll fucking cover it. We'll see what's going on. All I know is we're getting into Sodom and Gomorrah, possibly, which is always a good story.
It's coming up. There is, a little bit of stuff going on before that, but, I mean, we're getting there. And that one's, explosive. Definitely.
Speaking of explosive.
No, don't do it.
No. Alright. So, Genesis 16. Now Sarai and Abram's wife bare him no children, and she had an handmaiden, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar. Oh, okay. I thought Hagar was a dude. I don't know why. And Sarai said unto Abram, Behold now, the Lord hath restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go unto my maid, it may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abram hearkened to the voice of Sarai. So Tommy, you put it.
Say less, wife.
Yeah, you put it very well earlier. What's that mean?
So basically, because Sarai wasn't able to give Abram kids, and he wanted them bad, God was giving him a promise that he was going to have all of these kids. You can't even count them if you tried to count all the sands on earth. Yeah, he literally
just said back in 15, which we don't remember, he compared it to the stars in the sky.
Yeah, literally. So Abram's like, what the hell? He's starting to get old, and
he's already old
so
when he left. When he started his journey, he was old.
Literally. And his wife recognizes this, and she also wants kids too. But because she feels like she is void and barren with no kids, that she gave Abram an out for that and a potential way for them to have kids. And so she offers up her handmaid to Abram to procreate with. And yeah.
Abram's
They were a
like,
very
yes.
fluid couple. They were a very open couple, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. And Sarai and Abram's wife took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife. So basically, another wife. And he went unto Hagar, and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes. So now Sarai is pissed that exactly what she wanted to happen happened.
Yep. It was a moment where she realized that she might have made the wrong decision, but she felt anger. She felt despised with the sight of her handmaid.
Right. And Sarai said unto Abram, My wrong be upon thee. I have given my maid unto thy bosom, and when she saw that she had conceived, I was despised in her eyes. The Lord judge between me and thee. And Abram said unto...
1 minute. Should I bring up the stream again so that the viewers
can read along?
Awesome people can read along with us.
Yeah, if you want to. We can do that.
Okay, let me get that set up super quick so that we can have you guys clued in with us. Share my screen. I need to share the Genesis book. There we go. And then, how did we do this before?
You got to zoom in a little bit.
I've got to zoom in a little bit.
So that you lose that whole, like, right margin or something. Yeah, that's perfect. There we
go. Shoot.
All right.
Chapter 16, and we are on 5, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. We're good now, people.
Or on 6 now. But Abram said unto Sarai, Behold, thy maid is in thy hand. Do to her as it pleaseth thee. And when Sarai dealt hardly with her, she fled from her face. I wonder what she did.
I think she just struck her.
Probably.
I think that she kind of beat her a little bit.
Probably.
You know?
And the angel of the Lord found her by a fountain of water in the wilderness, by the fountain in the way of Shur. And he said, Hagar, Sarai's maid, whence comest thou, and whither wilt thou go? So, where are you coming from? Where are you going?
Where are you coming from, Cotton Eye Joe?
She said, I flee from the face of my mistress Sarai. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Return to thy mistress, and submit thyself under her hands. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly, that it shall not be numbered for multitude. That it shall not be numbered for multitude.
Yes, she will have quite a lot of children, like heirs.
Well, that's what I understand by the first part. I will multiply thy seed exceedingly. But that second part sounds like you're not going to have, like...
Oh, wait, it shall not
be numbered for multitude. Right? Like, isn't that a contradictory?
Be numbered. So what is it saying, that it shall not be numbered because of how many there are?
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
For multitude,
yeah, no, that makes sense. There will be so many it can't be numbered. You're right. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shalt call his name Ishmael, because the Lord hath heard thy affliction. And he will be a wild man. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him. And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. Ishmael,
yep.
And she called the name of the Lord that spoke unto her, Thou God seest me, for she said, Have I also here looked after him that seeth me? Wherefore the well has called... What? You want to give that one a shot? Beer Lahairoi? Beer Lahairoi?
Beer Lahairoi. Beer Lahairoi.
It is between Kadesh and Bered. well of the living one seeing me is what it is translated to in my Bible.
Of the living one seeing me.
Well of the living one seeing me.
That's pretty
Wherefore
wild.
the well is called. Huh. And
It's
Hagar,
kinda cool.
right? And Hagar bare Abram a son, and Abram called his son's name, which Hagar bare, Ishmael. And Abram was 86 years old, so he was 66 when Hagar.
No, fourscore, so he was 86.
Isn't the score 20?
Fourscore.
Oh yeah. He was 86.
80 years.
Sorry.
Yeah.
When Hagar bare Ishmael to Abram. See, he's fucking old.
Yeah.
I wonder what it's talking about with the well. That comes out of nowhere. Right?
Let me go back super quick.
Like, God tells her to go
just-
back because she's going to have Ishmael, and Ishmael's going to be a wild, crazy man. He's going to have many enemies. And then she called the name of the Lord, asked if he saw her. Wherefore the well? Okay, so she must have called up onto the Lord at this well.
Oh,
And
yeah,
now,
where she went.
Yeah, and now
Yes.
the well is called Well of the Living One Seeing Me.
Oh, because of the angel coming
Yeah.
and seeing her in her moment
Yeah.
of sadness and
Right. Okay.
confusion.
That makes sense. I feel like I'd waste the time on the stupidest parts, but
No,
glad
it needs-
we're
no, it's
figuring
good.
these things out. Somebody else that
Yeah,
actually knew this
yeah.
would be able to set us straight right away.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, we don't come from we do come from like a faith base, but we have not really, we didn't go to Sunday school,
Yeah.
you know?
We're not going to
We
Bible
both
studies.
haven't read the Bible front
This
to
is our
cover
Bible
14
study.
times. This is the first time that we have, made the stab at going through the entire Bible. So
Right.
we're kind of learning along through this, and hopefully we've got people that are, learning alongside with us and can kind of share what they're learning from it alongside us.
And also,
That's the
if
goal.
you know better than us, you think we're stupid, fucking let us know,
Yes.
and we'll make
Yeah.
corrections. Oh, yeah, speaking of making corrections, last time, I was saying Jacob. I was talking about a whole story talking about Jacob. It was Isaac, I think, is who I meant to say. We had thought about that afterwards. I was like, fuck, that whole time I was saying Jacob,
that
I meant
had to
Isaac.
do with Moses, right? We were going into the Moses thing, or
we were talking
Egypt and
about
Pharaoh
who
thing.
first went to Egypt
Yeah.
before Moses. It was 400 years before Moses.
Which is completely out of line with what, where we are in the Bible. So us skipping ahead and talking about things, it's also us drawing conclusions that we know a little bit of. You know, we're not, as we said, experts, but we do know some things.
So
and we're
feel
trying
free
tie it
to
all
correct
together.
us when we're wrong, because we will be wrong, and we'll make amendments.
Yep.
I
Absolutely.
don't mind amending myself. I know I'm going to be wrong from time to time.
Oh, heck yeah.
All right, so chapter 7. And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, so just 99, the Lord appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty God. Walk before me and be thou perfect. And for me, it's translating perfect to blameless. So don't get hung up on that. God's calling him perfect. He's just calling him blameless. And I will make my covenant between me and thee, and will multiply thee exceedingly. Abram fell on his knees, and God talked with him, saying, As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Neither shall thy name be more called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham. For a father of many nations have I made thee. And I will make thee exceedingly fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and thy seed after thee, and their generations, for an everlasting covenant, to be a God unto thee, and for thy seed after thee. And I will give unto thee, and unto thy seed after thee, the land wherein thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan, for everlasting possession, and I will be their God. And God said unto Abram, Thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore thou and thy seed shall after their Thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore thou and thy seed after thee in thy generations. this is my covenant, which ye shall keep, between me and you, and thy seed after thee. Every man child among you shall be circumcised. So I'm going to pause there.
This
Let's
is
go
when
back.
the circumcision freaking starts.
Right. But, so, this is a big point in a lot of historical wars and a lot of current wars.
Yeah.
This is a huge thing.
Abraham's covenant with God.
Wars are fought over these words right here. That, and you'll see it keep happening in the Bible, that God's saying he's making a covenant with Abram and he's giving this land to them. And later, Abraham and his seed will be named again. So now that he's named Abraham, we'll get to it, I guess. Let's just keep going. Do you have anything more to say on the covenant? It's just God establishing with Abraham that not only are you going to have a bunch of kids, but your kids are going to be the kings of many nations. And it's not just, when it's saying that, it doesn't mean like Abraham himself is going to have a ton of kids. It just means his family tree is going to grow to this point where his lineage, not like his direct kids, but his lineage, his descendants will lead great nations.
Yep. His it's with his whole line. His whole line is gonna be directly, under God. And that God is gonna take a direct hand in that entire lineage.
And this is important because people claim bloodline ties to this lineage still to this day.
Yes. Theoretically, I mean, not even theoretically, there are. For sure.
That
blood is still running through many people today.
And like, for sure, that's fucking awesome to be able to say that you have that blood. Like, that's fucking cool. But like, there is a new covenant with mankind.
Yes.
So like, it doesn't make you super special. It is pretty special. It is wicked cool. Something to be proud of for sure. Doesn't make you any more special than anybody else. Everybody's as special as each other. But yeah, ye shall be circumcised. This is where circumcisions come in too.
Yeah.
And ye shall be circumcised, and ye shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be a token of the covenant between me and you. And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you, every man child in your generations. He that is born in the house, or bought with money of any stranger, which is not of thy seed. He that is born in thy house, and he that is bought with thy money, must needs be circumcised, and my covenant shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. And the uncircumcised man-child, whose flesh of foreskin is not circumcised, that soul shall be cut off from his people. He hath broken my covenant. And God said unto Abram, As for Sarai thy wife, thou shalt not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall her name be. And I will bless her, and give thee a son also of her. Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall be of her. Man, God talks like Yoda. Yoda talks like God. Yeah. It's fucking rough to do it. But so I wonder what the significance of the changing of the names was. I wonder if there was like a significant meaning, like not just like a translation, but if there was like a definition difference, like a meaning difference behind it.
I don't necessarily believe that it's definitionally. I think it is title wise, that it's a notoriety from God, like he changed their names.
It was like adding an H almost.
Like status. It gave them like type of status.
So it's like with Sarai, it's Sarai to Sarah. So he took the I, added an H. And with Abram, he just added an H. An H and an A, I guess.
Yeah.
Abram to Abraham. So like, so that ha is like I've heard that before, actually. I forget what culture it was. I had a boss that was like, it's really cool to have a V in your name, I think it was. And so people were just adding V's to their name. Like, kids were just adding V's that weren't actually in their given name. But they're like, oh, instead of, well, I have a V in my name. Instead of Tommy, it's Tavmi, you know, just to be
Tavi.
cool. And like, maybe it was something like you're saying, like prestige. You get the huh in your name. That goes, makes it a little bit more prestigious.
It's like a title, you know. It's like now with the new names that they have, it's supposed to be recognized that they are, you know, among their people anyway. They're distinguished now. That they are, you know, they're the next form. They're because who they were before was pre-covenant with God, and then this after is now the new covenant, the covenant that has been made with them, and that they are now new. It's almost like a baptism, you know. It's like that level of newness. They're now new people, and we're about to see that level of newness happen in the coming verses with transmutation or transfiguration, you know, that happens.
I just want to say, I don't believe you need to be circumcising your children anymore. Medical professionals say it's for cleaning convenience. It's healthier, it's more hygienic. No way. It's easy to clean a penis without a foreskin. Quit being afraid. The parents need to fucking get over it. If you don't have a religious reason to circumcise your child, there's no reason to circumcise your child. Please don't mutilate their genitals. If they want to do it when they're older, they can do it, but that's kind of messed up to be making that decision for somebody. It's really weird. If you don't have a religious reason, there's no reason. If it's don't let a doctor or some fucking anybody tell you, oh, it's easier to clean or it's more hygienic. Don't be lazy. Don't be a bad parent. Oh, I'm going to cut my kid's dick because it's easier to clean. That's insane. Think about that. Say that in different ways. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I don't really know how my stance is on it. I don't
because
really
people that have had their dick chopped are like, nah, it's no big. I had my dick chopped. I'm going to chop my kid's dick. And it's like,
yeah.
Why? You got no religious reason to do it.
Well, there is religious precedent, so I mean, there is that. Like,
there isn't. We're not under this covenant anymore.
But it is a tradition, you know.
Nah, that's fucked.
It's kind of a thing, so I don't really have any true stance on it. You could either do it or not do it. It doesn't really bother me. I don't think that it matters in any true spiritual sense.
It doesn't really bother me. I would just highly suggest against it.
Or just at least fucking have some type of, like, look into it a little bit more instead of just blindly following. That's my only stance on it. For sure. If you decide you want to do it, good. If you decide you don't want to do it, good. Just make the decision consciously.
Yeah.
That's all I advocate for.
I agree. Good point. Then Abram fell on his face and laughed. And he said in his heart, shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old? And shall Sarah that is 90 years old bear it? And Abram said unto God, oh, that Ishmael might live before thee. And God said, Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac. And I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him. And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee, behold, I have blessed him, and will make him fruitful, and will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall he beget, and I will make him a great nation. But my covenant will I establish with Isaac, which Sarah shall bear unto thee at this set time in the next year. And he left off talking with him, and God went up from Abram. And Abram took Ishmael his son, and all that were born in his house, and all that were bought with his money, every male among them. Which means Abram had slaves, bro. Those people that Abram bought with his money.
Yeah, they're not just slaves,
they're workers.
Though. It's different.
It's like contracted workers.
Yeah.
But like throughout a lot of history, slavery was just contracted work. Like even in America, a lot of the slavery that we had was people in debt contracting work out to people that had money, and then you buy yourself out of slavery when you pay off that debt. Like it's actually beneficial for some people. Yes, I'm not condoning slavery by any means, and I'm not saying everything we did here was great. But
what we are trying to do is give a precedent and a context, because a lot of people take it out of precedent and context and historical, meaning what this means, and they try to use it as like, oh, the Bible promotes slavery, so I can't listen to anything that promotes slavery. And it's like, well, if you actually look at the times, we had a completely different civilization, completely different world, completely different reality when this was happening. And a lot of people back then, I mean,
imagine you have nothing
with Abram. Yes,
Abram's got a whole colony.
With Abram, yes, and the people that decided to go with him, they were slaves from other places. Or where did he go? He went somewhere, and God pretty much told him to take everyone. Remember, that was just before this. It was just before this. But anyway, so he went and, conquered an area and took people with him. And during that time, I mean, those people didn't have anything after the war, It kind of made more sense to go with him. And a lot of people too that are saved, like if you go into a place and you're like kind of liberating people or whatever, then you're gonna have people that are gonna feel indebted to you, or if someone was hard up, and like you gave them cattle, they didn't really have anything else to give you, they would give you one of their kids, like a kid that was a little bit older, maybe, or even a little bit younger, and you would take them under you, and they would kind of be of this slave, air quotes, type status. But it wasn't just a slave; they were under your protection. They were under your name. They were under your banner, and they would take care of you. You weren't just like whipped around, hey, go pick this fucking
They're
field,
basically helping you come up from nothing.
Yes. And then when you get to a certain status of your own, then you're allowed to leave.
Yeah.
You're allowed to go.
And not only are you allowed to leave, but you have the means to.
Yes.
Because
they help you that whole way.
Say a slave is not sold to Abram, but comes to Abram and says, hey, I will be your slave. I'll sell myself to you for 5 years. I'll be your slave. And Abram says, all right, well, what you're going to do for me is you're going to tend these acres of land with these cows, and you're going to live here and fucking deal with all of that for me. And so now this guy's got land, he's got cattle, and he's got fucking a place to live. And so for 5 years, he multiplies that cattle for Abram. And Abram's like, sweet, not only did you make me money, but you multiplied my cattle. And so here, now you can take this cattle when you want to go off and be a free man. And he's like, well, I don't want to be a free man, actually. I'm going to stay and be a part of Abram's colony. Like, this is, and it's not just Abraham. Like, this is how, like, slavery did work from time to time. I'm not saying every time. I'm not saying all the time. Because certainly, slavery is fucking horrible. Yeah. Like, buying and selling and using people is fucking terrible. I'm not condoning slavery by any means. But there certainly were cases where it was a beneficial practice for not the slaver, but the slave.
And I would also very much so like to, just ask people to put themselves, like, learn the context of what was happening during these times. Put yourself in the shoes of,
and think about what you're doing right now. Like,
ask yourself this question. Are you a rich man right now? Are you an elite are you a noble? Are you, someone of high status right now? No. Okay, so you're in the bottom percentage of, like wealth and status and, just being in this world right now. What would that have looked like back 2,000 years ago? It would have been awful. I mean, bro, when I say awful, I mean like destitute. You're kind of screwed if you have nothing. If you're not like, if you don't have your own house, if you didn't have your own things.
The only thing you could do is go be somebody's fucking servant.
Like, what do we do now? We go to work. So we go and sign a dotted line to go work for someone and make a paycheck. All right. So
somebody else's property, somebody else's business.
A servant to someone else, and we're working their plantation,
making money for them.
Making money for them until we can cut our own check and fucking walk away from them and make our own thing.
And they all pay us as little as they possibly can.
Open your minds to what it really is. Don't just hit the clickbait slavery thing. Don't go with the sensationalized, propagandized terms on what this is. Put yourself in the shoes of it and really try to see what's going on and what it actually was. Because it's not what everybody thinks.
Right.
It's not. And there's precedent for it. And, I mean, there's even modern precedent with what we have going on with modern-day debt slavery and working for industrial corporations. It's different. Rant over. But that is literally it. Like, fully.
Right.
We probably all would have been slaves. Bro, I probably would have been a slave, you know?
Well, that's what I'm saying, is like everybody says we are. Everybody is completely comfortable saying we are slaves to the system.
Yes.
And it's like, all right, well, like, understand that that's kind of how it's always been, and it wasn't always terrible when you were a slave to the system. Like, currently, the people that are slaves to the system, some people are living in prison. Some people are getting killed and bombed and fucking murdered, and, you know, there's lots of people that have I don't know what I'm saying, like a terrible fucking slave existence in this system that we're in. And some of us are cushy slaves, you know? But we're all slaves to the system. And even back then, some people couldn't make it in the rat race. And so you had to fucking work for somebody else. And you get bought at that point. Like, I don't know. Anyway, back to it. This isn't an episode on slavery. We're gonna get back to reading.
Yeah. Well, we had to hit.
It was worth
something
mentioning.
To be touched on.
Yeah. And Abram was 90 years old. Wait. Took everybody with them of Abram's house and circumcised. Everybody he bought with his money, every male among them of Abram's house, and circumcised them of his flesh and foreskin the selfsame day as God said unto him. So he's in sacrifice. Dude, imagine what that must have looked like. Like, how many people there must have been within his little group. Like, hundreds. He's like, all right, every man line up if you're fucking 8 days or older, or you're getting your dick chopped.
I think that it was more like, because I think that all of them know that Abraham is a man of God.
Oh yeah,
you know?
No,
they all have.
Yeah, that's crazy too. They're all willing to follow him. They're like, "Yep, we're getting our dicks chopped."
That's something I think that's more worth.
That's powerful. Yeah.
Is that this guy? You know, he's talking to God. He's getting these. You know, this covenant made. He's being ordained. Like, things just happen for these guys, for this whole clan, for him specifically, him and his wife, and these people see that, and then when he gave a command, they listened because they know what they know what's going on, like they're not stupid people, they're not being forced, they're not being rounded up like, here, take these rusty scissors and chop your dick. No, it was probably more going on than just like, we're going to just chop everybody's fucking shit off. It was probably more of a thing, where it was more maybe ceremonial, maybe more carefully prepared, and gone through with more intention. I believe that to be more of a possibility than, Abram just being like, everybody round up, God spoke to me, we're cutting dicks. I don't think that's how it went.
Well, obviously it's more intricate, but like, to think that, like,
there's a pile of foreskins in their fucking...
No, but like, the man had the capability to, like you said, convince an entire group of people. Not convince, because they already had the faith in him.
To lead them.
Yeah. Like, all he had to do was say, this is what we're doing today. It was the same day. He got everybody to do it. So they had faith in him to do it. And what would it take now for a group of people to have enough faith in something that the day that they decide we're cutting dicks, you're like, yep, we're cutting dicks. You don't even take a day to hesitate and see, like, what happens after you cut the dick? Is everybody living after you cut the dick? Or can you even sex? Or is your dick healed? Like, they don't know. This hasn't happened before. They're just like, nope, yep, we're all doing it. No matter what.
You know what I kind of am interested in is what people... Did anybody say no?
Right.
Because you could, you know? You could be like, this ain't for me. I'm going to take off now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, right.
You could do that. But, like, was there anybody that did? And if not, then that also speaks too. If nobody even was like, nah, I don't think so. I mean, why are we doing this again? You know, like, I wish that there was, like, a slightly more context on that, or I don't know if there is or not, you know? Like, someone has something to say on it, but,
All right.
That's this entire section here, there's a lot you can go into, I feel like people are very, trigger happy when it comes to labeling things. Casting judgment on things that they read, you know, just based off of their own, like, biases and stuff.
Right.
I feel like, especially when it comes to the Bible, but it could also go on to everything else in life. I think we just got to kind of give ourselves a little bit of grace with the fact that, and humble ourselves that we don't really know everything. So, like, reading these things, kind of try to, you know, open yourself up a little bit more, dive into what you know, and also into what you don't know, and try to see what you can gather from it.
Right.
It's a huge thing, I feel, especially with the Bible right now.
Abram was 90 years old and 9 when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. And Ishmael his son was 13 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. In the self-same day was Abraham circumcised and Ishmael his son. And all the men of his house born in the house and bought with his money of the stranger were circumcised with him. And the Lord appeared unto him in the plains of Mamre, and he sat in the tent door in the heat of the day. And he lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo, 3 men stood by him. And when he saw them, he ran to meet them from the tent door, and bowed himself toward the ground, and said, My Lord, if now I have found favor in thy sight, pass not away, I pray thee, from thy servant.
So this is a servant. Who is this again?
So,
is this Abram?
Yeah, this is... It says, And the Lord appeared in the plains of Mamre.
Unto Abram, yes. Abraham.
And he sat in the tent door. So Abram sat in the tent door?
I think it might be the Lord.
Well...
I think God did.
It said, for 3, and said, My Lord, if now I have found favor in thy sight, pass not away. So Lord is underlined and changed to Adonai. Adonai.
Oh.
I don't know who that is.
That is a person. That's a
So it's not God.
I did hear about this. No, it's not. It's shit, dude. Yeah, I can't recall it, but I do remember there's a whole thing about Adonai. There's a whole thing about Adonai. Let me do some...
Let a little water, I pray you, be brought, and wash your feet, and rest yourself under the tree. And I will bring a morsel of bread, and comfort ye your hearts. After that ye shall pass on. For therefore are ye come to your servant. And they said, So do as thou hast said. And Abraham hastened into the tent unto Sarah, and said, Make ready quickly 3 measures of fine meal, knead it, and make cakes upon the hearth. So, yeah, it is Abraham and some other lord of the land, I'm guessing. 3 of them.
Wait, no, one of them is God, right?
I don't think so.
And the Lord appeared unto him in the plains of
Maybe
Mamre.
they're
Because
angels.
there is a story where God does visit Abraham, I believe.
Yeah.
This is that story. So there's God and angels. God and two angels, I'm pretty sure. And he has a meal with them. And they make unleavened bread. And he kills a goat. And they eat the or a lamb.
Okay,
and
no,
they eat
you're
lamb.
right, because it is red
It-
letter down here.
But
All
what
right.
is the freaking... But that guy, the Adonia that you were
Yeah.
talking about, there's something with that. And I will try to make a note so that for the next episode, the next Bible cast we do,
Yeah.
we'll go into that a little bit more, because there is something to that, and I'd like to know. But for now, we're just gonna keep going with the reading.
Okay. So he tells Sarah to make some food and water, or food and drink. And Abram ran unto the herd and brought a calf tender and good, and gave it unto a young man, and he hasted to dress it. And he took butter and milk and the calf which he had dressed, and set it before them, and he stood by them under the tree, and they did eat. And they said unto him, Where is Sarah thy wife? And he said, Behold, in the tent. And he said, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life, and lo, Sarah thy wife shall have a son. And
This
Sarah,
is the miracle that happens where he gets kind of age reversed.
see, now, it says, and he said, but he is not uppercase he. So it's not God saying, but then it's all red letter after it, like God said it.
Yeah. It
So
was
it-
of God.
It's like God, it's got to be angels. You know?
Yeah,
all three
I don't-
got to be angels, I would imagine.
There's got to be I know that there's more precedent to this, but from what I understand, from what I've listened to and what I've heard, not just from reading the exact words of the passage, but there's some other context where people acknowledge that God was with him, and that there's some type of meeting that he had in the flesh where God ate and angels ate. Like it was like a crazy thing that they were actually there and ate, and it's disputed. So it is kind of like a hot button topic.
Huh.
I would like to dive into that a little bit more at some point. I just don't have the knowledge on it right now.
Right. And Sarah heard it in the tent door, which was behind him. So Sarah heard God telling Abraham that. And Abraham and Sarah were old and well stricken in age, and it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of women. And it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of women. What does that mean?
So she went through menopause.
Oh.
So she wasn't able to have, children. She was dried up,
Therefore Sarah laughed within herself, saying, After I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord being old also? She's saying, should I even, this old, should I be having sex? Like, my husband's old as fuck too. Like, we're both way too old to be fucking. How are we going to have a kid? And the Lord said unto Abraham, wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, Shall I of a surety bear a child which I am old? Is anything too hard for the Lord? At the time appointed I will return unto thee according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son. I think when it is saying according to the time of life, it just means like the period of gestation.
I think
Like,
that
I'll come to you
I will
after the
return unto thee, so I will give you.
Yeah.
He's giving them they're going back to when they were fertile. He's literally restoring their bodies, restoring them to an age where they could have children. He rewinds the clock for them because they are old. They're old right now, and they go on after this living another full life.
Right.
So it's a miracle. This is a miracle that happens from God.
Oh, okay.
He literally rewinds the clock on them. It's a miracle. It's a miraculous thing because, as we all know, they were old. They were literally, they couldn't have kids. They tried their whole
90.
lives. They were barren.
90 and 99.
Yeah. So, and then after this moment, he restores them back to the time of life, and then they will have kids. And yeah, do you want me to take over for you?
Sure, if you want to.
Yeah. All right.
15.
Yes, 15. Okay. Then Sarah denied, saying, I laughed not, for she was afraid. And he said, Nay, but thou didst laugh. And the men rose up from thence, and looked toward Sodom. And Abram went with them to bring them on the way. And the Lord said, Shall I hide from Abraham that thing which I do? Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. For I know him, that he will command his children and his household after him, and they shall keep the way of the Lord, to do justice and judgment, that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he hath spoken of him. And the Lord said, Because the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and because their sin is very grievous, I will go down now, and see whether they have done altogether according to the cry of it, which is come unto me, and if not, I will know. And the men turned their faces from thence, and went toward Sodom. But Abraham stood yet before the Lord. And Abraham drew near, and said, Wilt thou also destroy the righteous with the wicked? Peradventure, there be 50 righteous within the city. Wilt thou also destroy, and not spare the place for the 50 righteous that are therein? This part cracks me up.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Like, it's great. This is such an awesome.
It's like God being funny.
Bible. Yeah, and not just funny, but also merciful,
Yeah.
And it really kind of shows you that a good person is worth a lot.
Yeah.
Like a lot, like a whole city could be, saved because of one good person. Or one godly person, one person that doesn't sin, one person, Like
at any point in time, you could essentially, you could be Abraham, meaning you could have one child, and your one child could have two, and those two could each have 4, and those 4 could each have 8, and those children could lead nations, and they could lead nations in the name of God because you taught them so well. He's saying Abraham is going to teach his descendants so well that they're going to carry on this message that I'm teaching him.
Yes.
And that in and of itself is powerful. But then to go and say that Abraham is able to essentially argue with God, like we're going to get into, like God is there talking to him. And he's like, come on, dude, like, don't kill him. What about this? And God's like, all right, well, then. He's like, but what about this? And he's like, all right, even if there's 10. He's like, but what about this? Like, dude's able to argue back and forth with God.
To me, the way that my mind plays it is, it's funny you think of it as like it's
like pleading.
Kind of argumentative. It's kind of, to me, it's almost like, because Abraham and God, they've got this covenant, so they have like a relationship that is very, it's on a almost level place where they meet and have this relationship. So when it comes to this, and Abraham sees that the Lord's like pointing at Sodom and Gomorrah, and he's like, go check that shit out, and if it's bad, we'll deal with it. And then Abraham's like, well, what if there's like 50 good guys there? Are you gonna do it then? And then the Lord says no, and then he's like, well, let's go back. Well, what if there's 45? Would you do it then? He keeps trying to lower the number because Abraham has empathy,
he knows he's not gonna find anybody.
Yeah, well,
he already knows he's gonna be hard pressed to find anybody.
He's like, there's gotta be, He's like, there's gotta be. So every time that he goes down on that number, he feels like I should be able to, and he tries and he can't. And when he realizes he can't, he tries to lower the number because he doesn't want the cities to be destroyed, even though they're sinful, even though they're shitholes. They're terrible places filled with sin and terrible shit. He doesn't want them destroyed. He has like an empathy thing. And God, instead of being like, no, I already know. I'm omnipotent. I know these places are shitty and I know you're not going to find them. Instead of doing that, he goes through this with Abraham. And it's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
It allows for this process, which God isn't human. He's not human.
Right.
He knows all this shit. And he has power to destroy cities instantaneously.
Yeah.
He can nuke anywhere he wants, anytime he wants. And he knows the judgment that these people are evil. And with all judgment of the Lord, he could do this. And there would be no recourse, and it would be a perfect judgment. He could just do it now. But because him and Abraham, it's amazing to me that he actually goes through this process with them, and we get this little bit of text that we get to see this process. And it speaks to like us in our lives, like, are we beyond saving, or is someone else, beyond saving? Because of all these multitude of evil things. It's like, even if they are, or even if there's something, he allows you to go through that process, that like inquiry. He allows that.
Yeah.
And it's really, I don't know, to me it's cool. It's hilarious too, the dialogue. So yeah. Yeah, where the hell was I now? Let me see. I was peradventure
22.
The face of the Lord. No, I'm on
23.
24. So, peradventure, there be 50 righteous within the city. Wilt thou also destroy and not spare the place for the 50 righteous that are therein? That be fair from thee. That be far from thee to do after this manner, to slay the righteous with the wicked, and that the righteous should be as the wicked. That be far from thee. Shall not the judge of all the earth do right? And the Lord said, if I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, then I will spare all the place for their sakes. And Abraham answered and said, behold now, I have taken upon me to speak unto the Lord, which am but dust and ashes. Peradventure, there shall lack 5 of the 50 righteous. Wilt thou destroy all the city for the lack of 5? So for 45? Right. And he said, if I find there 40 and 5, I will not destroy it, says the Lord. And he spoke unto him yet again, and said, peradventure, there shall be 40 found there. And he said, I will not do it for 40's sake. And he said unto him, oh, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak. Peradventure, there shall be 30 found there. And he said, I will not do it if you find 30 there. And he said, behold now, I have taken upon me, speak unto the Lord. Peradventure, there shall be 20 found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 20's sake. And he said, oh, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak yet but this once. Peradventure, 10 shall be found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 10's sake. And the Lord went his way as soon as he had left communing with Abraham. And Abraham returned unto his place. That dude,
he's like, I know I'm being annoying, but what if there's only 10? God's like, dude, literally, if you could even find one motherfucker, I dare you. Yep. I dare you find one motherfucker up in there.
He was very gracious with Abraham.
Oh yeah,
which is just there's something about that to me that's.
Yeah, it wasn't don't question me, don't do this or that.
Yeah, he wasn't like, you fool.
Yeah.
Why would you ask me?
He was like reassuring.
Or getting mad with, why are you asking me so many times? Just do what you said you were going to do. Like, no.
Or like, don't tell me what's below me or above me.
Yes. And that's revealing of God, and the relationship to at least Abraham, but you can kind of push that to Abraham's descendants and even, people that are of God, that
Yeah.
God, sees as of him. I mean, he's going to have that same type of dialogue, that same type of grace, and it's cool. It's just fucking cool. I like it. All right, so now we're on 19. And there came 2 angels to Sodom at even, and Lot sat at the gate of Sodom, and Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them, and he bowed himself with his face toward the ground. And he said, Behold now, my lords, I turn in, I pray you, into your servant's house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet, and ye shall rise up early and go on your ways. And they said, Nay, but we will abide in the street all night. And he pressed upon them greatly, and they turned in unto him, and entered into his house. And he made them a feast, and they did bake unleavened bread, and they did eat. But before they lay down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house round, both old and young, all the people from every quarter. And they called unto Lot, and said unto him, Where are the men which came into thee this night? Bring them out unto us, that we may know them.
That we may know
what does that
them.
mean? Yeah.
They want to
Talk
fuck
about
them.
that. Yeah.
So these 2 men that came into Sodom and Gomorrah were angels. And
Yes.
so there's this idea that people knew that they were angels. They might
They
have
were different.
Yeah, they might have even been like divinely beautiful, but the idea that like Sodom and Gomorrah needed to be destroyed was like in the fucking conspiracy tinfoil hat world. When you're reading the Bible, like there's a bigger idea that like they weren't just having butt sex and orgies and stealing and killing each other. Maybe they were up to some devious shit. Like God says, Sodom and Gomorrah are crying out, because the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great. Like, the sin is very grievous. What could be so grievous that it is crying out to God to intervene? People think that it's like
pure sin.
Yeah, people think that it is fucking with essentially like the whole plan. It's fucking with what is supposed to be here on the planet. So these people,
they were like an affront to like God's plan,
like messing up the genome, messing up and like what do you do to do like that's Nephilim shit, tainting the bloodline, fucking having weird sex with weird creatures, making weird stuff that shouldn't be there. Like there's already been a flood, we shouldn't be doing this stuff anymore, kind of stuff.
It's like they took the whole thing and they were just it's like, it's almost like this is like Satan's 2 little cities, and he's like trying to just like do everything he can to just unwind, the whole fabric of order, of God order, and that these 2 cities are just so bad that God's like sitting there, miles away, and he's like, man, these 2 cities are just kind of crying to me right now. And he's describing it as crying.
Right.
But like in these cities, these people, they're just living in their sin. So they're just doing whatever, fornicating wildly, doing, whatever shit. And they're probably, physically, I don't necessarily think that they might be crying, but like their souls and the collective soul was just crying out. And God's just like hearing this and like, holy shit. There's got to be insane shit going on there.
Right.
Insane.
Right.
There's a lot of lack
and
of
God's
context, but
nothing makes that noise except for this. So like, go make sure that they're doing this so that I can wipe them out, because that's a bad noise.
Yeah.
So this idea that we may know them, we think that it's actually deeper than the entire city came just to get to know these 2 guys. No.
Yeah, it's not just like, I want to know who they are. No, they want to know them.
Yeah, they want, just like what we were saying before, like, what was the wording of it? We'll get to it. We'll get to it in Leviticus.
Okay.
It's later.
Yeah, so they called unto Lot, and they said to him, "Where were those 2 men that came with you that night, or this night? Bring them out to us, so we may bang them vigorously." And Lot went out at the door unto them, and shut the door after them, and said, "I pray you, brethren, do not so wickedly. Behold, now I have 2 daughters which have not known a man. Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you, and do ye to them as is good in your eyes. Only unto these men do nothing. For therefore came they under the shadow of my roof." So he's talking about his daughters. Dude, Lot's got 2 daughters. And before he was going
2 virgin
to let
daughters.
those 2, yes. And before he was going to let those 2 angels get sodomized in Sodom by the Sodomites, he was going to let his 2 daughters go out. Like, to me, that almost speaks to like these angels, like what they were. And like, I mean, for someone to just allow for that, there's got to be something wild going on with those angels. Like, I'm almost wondering if like their presence didn't just like invoke like a perfect faith. You know what I mean?
Lot must have known also that the idea is like, we're trying not to show that everybody is the worst ever.
Yeah. Or at least it's just kind of like baked in. It could just kind of be baked into Lot, because isn't Lot the nephew of Abraham?
He's related somehow.
Yeah,
I forget
his brother's
already.
son.
Yeah,
it's his brother's son. So it's his nephew. So
yeah.
There is that blood sharing, and so they're kind of a little bit closer to God. That bloodline. So to me, it almost speaks like kind of baked in that like, if these angels show up, that's not a good sign. Like these angels, if you see them in like your Lot, people that are close to God, it's like about to go down,
right.
And so he's like, oh shit, and offers up his daughters, dude. It's crazy. Yeah. Okay. And they said, stand back. And they said again, this one fellow came in to sojourn, and he needs to be a judge. Now will we deal worse with thee than with them. And they pressed sore upon the man, even Lot, and came near to break the door. But the men put forth their hand, and pulled Lot into the house to them, and shut to the door. And they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness, both small and great, so that they wearied themselves to find the door. So these guys are trying to break the door in. They want to bang these angels so bad in Sodom. These Sodomites are so fucked up.
I mean, it could just be a threat.
They're trying to bust the door down, to get after these angels, to go after them.
Oh, I remember. To see the nakedness, right?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Or however they phrase it before.
Nakedness and knowing. Because it's also been talked in the Bible that, I wish I could remember a name, but one of the guys would go in and know his wife and bear children. Yeah. So that, in that type of context, we can clearly see that knowing in that type of a display is for sex, procreation. But yeah, these angels, they put their hand up to the door and they smote all of the people outside with blindness. They couldn't even find the door, like they're about to break in the door and the angels just smite them with blindness. Like, that's crazy. So that they can't even find the door. And the man said unto Lot, hast thou here any besides a son-in-law and thy sons and thy daughters, and whatsoever thou hast in the city, bring them out of this place. For we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is waxen great before the face of the Lord, and the Lord hath sent us to destroy it. So these angels, they're talking to him. They're like, do you have people here? Because you better get them out of here, because this place has been crying to the Lord. The Lord's hearing the great wickedness that's going on here, and he sent us to destroy this place.
Yeah. He's like, Lot,
And
you and yours ain't bigger than 10, bro. We're still burning this bitch down.
Yep, literally. And Lot went out and spake unto his sons-in-law, which married his daughters, and said, Up, get you out of this place, for the Lord will destroy this city. But he seems as one that mocked unto his sons-in-law. And when the morning arose, then the angels hasted Lot, saying, Arise, take thy wife and thy 2 daughters, which are here, lest thou be consumed by the iniquity of the city. And while he lingered, the men laid hold upon his hand, and upon the hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his 2 daughters, the Lord being merciful unto him, and they brought him forth and set him without the city. So he was lingering. He didn't want to leave,
Right.
And these angels, they put their hands upon him, his daughter, and his daughters, and his wife,
Grabbed
and then
him and swept him out.
boom, yeah, they're out of the city. It almost makes me wonder if they just teleported him out
I
of the
think
city.
they teleported because everybody was surrounding their house violently.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
they
it's
were
like-
blind, but like, it must have been like a poof.
Dude, there's Bible precedents, and this shit's so old. There's Bible precedents for teleportation.
Right.
So all these like modern depictions of teleportation, they're all tied back to the Bible. They all got their start biblically.
Yeah, it says,
kinda
laid
cool
his
to
hands
think about.
upon him, brought him forth, and set him without the city.
Yeah.
Like-
So it's just like boom, they put their hands on them, and then boom, they're out. They're out of the city.
Right.
There's no they walked out, they shielded them from the crowd. No, they fucking are out of the city. Just boom. It's crazy. And it came to pass, when they had brought them forth abroad, that he said, Escape for thy life, look not behind thee, neither stay thou in all the plain. Escape to the mountain, lest thou be consumed. And Lot said unto them, Oh, not so, my lord. Behold, now thy servant hath found grace in thy sight, and thou hast magnified thy mercy, which thou hadst shown unto me, in saving my life. And I cannot escape to the mountain, lest some evil take me and I die. Behold, now this city is near to flee unto, and it is a little one. Oh, let me escape thither. Is it not a little one? And my soul, I have in parentheses here,
Yeah.
is it not a little one? Huh. And my soul shall live. And he said unto him, See, I have accepted thee concerning this thing also, that I will not overthrow this city, for the which thou hast spoke.
So basically, there's a smaller city on the outskirts, and Lot's like, "Can I go there? Like, it's a small city. It's not that bad. Can I? Like, it's a closer place to flee. I don't know where I'm going. Even is it okay if I go there?"
Yeah.
And the angel's like, "Yeah, it's good. You can go there." Basically, he's like, "I already
Really?
foresaw." Yeah.
Okay.
He said, "I have accepted thee concerning this thing, and that I will not overthrow this city." So he's saying, I'm not gonna smash this tiny city that you're trying to go to. You're good to go there.
Okay. That makes so much sense, because while I was reading it, it was kind of hard for me to understand kind of the idea of what that
Yeah,
even
because
was.
he said, let me escape thither," which means like over there.
Yeah.
And is it not a little one? I'm guessing he's expressing what I feel, which is like, fuck New York City, fuck all of California, like the big cities like Hollywood and like all those places where everybody's living on top of each other. That's where evil breeds, man.
Yeah,
Like little cities like where I live, like, yeah, it's a city, but it's a rural city. Like, it's, you go fucking 10 minutes and you're
There's
in the
more God.
woods. Yeah. Like, it's not super scary over here. It's not so bad living around people. You just can't get too many fucking people, or else it does get like Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah, it's like sin just starts overbreeding and it becomes out of control. And he said unto him, See, I have accepted thee concerning this thing also, that I will not overthrow the city. Haste thee, escape thither. I cannot. Okay, so I am on 22.
Yeah, 22.
So, haste thee, escape thither, for I cannot do anything till thou become thither. Therefore, therefore, the name of the city was called Zor. The sun was risen upon the earth when Lot entered into Zor.
Zor means insignificance.
Yeah, so it doesn't even matter. The place is just, it's nothing to God. You know, so, yeah, fuck it. You can go there and we won't do anything to insignificance. That's not what we're after.
Yeah.
And then the Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. And he overthrew those cities, and all the plain, and all the inhabitants of the city, and all that which grew upon the ground.
And people have found the brimstone. People have found
Yes.
sulfur balls in the area
Yes.
where Sodom and Gomorrah would have been.
Millions of them. If you go to the areas where these cities were, and you just go to the dirt and you just start digging, you're gonna find these little white puff balls.
Yeah.
That you can take a lighter or a match to, and they burn pure sulfur. It's pure, and the only way that's happening is from some type of unbelievable explosion.
It was like sulfur hail.
Yeah,
And like, you could be totally fucking square about it and say maybe there was some kind of little meteor that was local enough to do like what we've seen in the fucking, I forget where it was. It was like Russia, where it like blew up in the atmosphere really close and it like leveled a bunch of trees. But like, say this one was also made of sulfur, so then the debris underneath is just scattered sulfur everywhere and it set everything on fire. Like, that's totally fucking possible. But whether or not that's the case or not, the Bible story is credible. You can go and find that this is true. This fucking happened.
And also the fact that he was warned, and so he was able to leave the city before anyone else,
right?
And get to safety. They knew well in advance that this was going to go down, you know, and they had the ability to leave, like no one else did. This wasn't like something that people knew about, but he knew about it because, in what he says, God told him. You know, frickin' the angels of the Lord came down and told him, and then it happened before them. Yeah, like, even if it was a meteor, then God used a fucking meteor to level 2 cities and gave warning about it. Like, it's still insane.
Yeah.
And he looked toward Sodom and Gomorrah and toward the land of the plain and beheld, and lo, the smoke of the country went up as the smoke of a furnace.
No, you skipped. Go back to 26.
It's 26. Oh, my bad. Okay, sorry guys. 26. But his wife looked back. Oh yes, I did. I skipped a very, very big deal. Thank you.
It's only one fucking sentence.
Yeah, crazy, bro. Okay, so overthrew the cities of the plain and the inhabitants of the cities, and that which grew upon the ground. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt.
So people also think that we have found the pillar of salt. I don't know how convincing that is, because what I saw wasn't convincing me. But also, in the same fucking area, there is this pillar that's like mostly sodium.
You know what this kind of makes me think, dude? Because you know how we get those like from like Tartaria type ideas to like giants or mountains?
Yeah.
And that the earth was covered in giants, and that like if you dig in, like those Himalayan pink salt mines, they look like flesh, you know? And like there's this idea that there were just giants all over the place, like some of these mountains that are like flat top and they kind of look like tree trunks that have been cut, you know. So there's this idea that comes to mind that like with this smiting that God did, and he clears out these 2 cities, what if there was like some crazy shit going on, like prehistory type shit, like earlier iterations with God just kind of, you know, doing shit on the earth, and he did this to kind of clear it, you know, because we have like melted buildings that people are finding, like bricks in these mountains, and the mountains just look kind of like melted or like eroded type shit, but they're actually melted.
Right.
And then we get like these mountains that kind of have like anatomy to them, and then we get the salt. So
Yeah.
Lot's wife becomes a pillar of salt in the face of this.
Right.
So what if these giants of the earth, the Titans, if you will, they got wiped out by something similar, and it frickin' pillars of salt, it transmutes them, turns them into different materials,
Yeah.
We have a biblical precedent with Lot's wife when it comes to that.
Yeah, it's totally a possibility.
Crazy, dude, crazy. All right, and we're back. And Abraham got up early in the morning to the place where he stood before the Lord. And he looked toward Sodom and Gomorrah, and toward the land of the plain, and beheld, and lo, the smoke of the country went up as the smoke of a furnace. And it came to pass, when God destroyed the cities of the plain, that God remembered Abraham, and sent Lot out of the midst of the overthrow. And when he overthrew the cities in the which Lot dwelt. And Lot went up out of Zoar, and dwelt in the mountains, and his 2 daughters with him. For he feared to dwell in Zoar, and he dwelt in a cave, he and his 2 daughters. And the firstborn said unto the younger, Our father is old, and there is not a man in the earth to come unto us after the manner of all the earth. So these guys, they thought this was the whole earth.
Yeah, they thought everything
when
was
this
getting
happened.
destroyed.
Yeah. And I mean, this is definitely fucked up, what's happening here. But let me just keep reading. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. And they made their father drink wine that night, and the firstborn went in and lay with her father, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. And it came to pass on the morrow that the firstborn said unto the younger, Behold, I lay yesternight with my father. Let us make him drink wine this night also, and go thou in, and lie with him, that we may preserve the seed of our father. And they made their father drink wine that night also. And the younger arose and lay with him. And he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. Thus were both the daughters of Lot with the child by their father. And the firstborn bare a son, and called his name Moab. And the same is the father of the Moabites unto this day. And the younger she also bare a son, and the son his name Benami.
Mm-hmm.
And the same is the father of the children of Ammon unto this day. That is crazy, dude.
Moab means
They thought
of his
what were you
father, and Benami means son of my people.
Huh. Interesting. Dude, they thought the whole world was gone, and they were in a cave with their father, and they're like, the only responsible thing to do here, I mean, the world's fucked, and our dad's getting old, so, like, soon he's not going to be able to make kids. If you really...
And, like, the Bible makes it sound like it's all immediate. It makes it sound like Sodom and Gomorrah got destroyed, and then they go to Zoar, and then the cities in the plains are getting destroyed, so they leave Zoar, and Zoar gets destroyed, and they're in a cave, and immediately they get drunk and have sex. Like, no. This was probably a very long time that just
they were going through
hellfire is raining from the sky, and it's everywhere around them. It's everywhere they can go. Like, imagine if you didn't have the internet, you didn't have a phone, you have any way to communicate anywhere, and every city around you that you'd ever been to was destroyed. You had nowhere to go. You would think it was the whole world. You'd have no reason not to think it was the whole world. It's your whole world.
Yep.
And so they're literally thinking, we gotta repopulate. We gotta at least keep our bloodline going, our people going.
If you take it from that type of understanding, you can almost make the argument that it was actually the responsible thing that these 2 daughters did.
Yeah. You know,
You know
you
what
can
I'm
cut him some
saying?
slack, for sure. You can definitely cut him some slack. But it's fucked.
up.
It's fucked.
It's fucked
So just
up.
remember, when the Moabites come up, or the Benamites, or Benamimis, or whatever they're called, come up,
I think it's the ammo.
just know that they might
let
be
me go
something strange.
the children of Ammon. The children of Ammon were.
The Ammonites.
Benami. Yeah.
The Ammonites were.
Benami.
I think they were some of the giants. I'm wrong. Don't take anything from that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We'll get there at some point.
Yeah.
All right. And Abraham journeyed from thence toward the south country, and dwelt between Kadesh and Shur, and sojourned in Gerar. And Abraham said of Sarah his wife, She is my sister. And Abimelech, king of Gerar, sent and took Sarah. But God came to Abimelech in a dream by night, and said to him, Behold, thou art but a dead man, for the woman which thou hast taken, for she is a man's wife. But Abimelech had not come near her. And he said, Lord, wilt thou slay also a righteous nation? Said he not unto me, She is my sister. And she, even she herself said, He is my brother. In the integrity of my heart and innocency of my hands have I done this. And God said unto him in a dream, Yeah, I know that thou didst this in the integrity of thy heart.
It's yay, not yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yay.
Dude, I like yeah.
Yeah, I know.
In the integrity of thy heart, for I also withheld thee from sinning against me. Therefore suffered I thee not to touch her. Now therefore restore the man his wife, for he is a prophet, and he shall pray for thee, and thou shalt live. And if thou restore her not, know thou that thou shalt surely die, thou and all that are thine. Therefore Abimelech rose early in the morning, and called all his servants, and told all these things in their ears. And the men were sore afraid. And Abimelech called Abraham, and said unto him, What hast thou done unto us? And what have I offended thee, that thou hast brought on me, and on my kingdom, a great sin? Thou hast done deeds unto me that ought not to be done. And Abimelech said unto Abraham, What sawest thou, that thou hast done this thing? And Abraham said, Because I thought, surely the fear of God is not in this place, and they will slay me for my wife's sake. And yet, indeed, she is my sister. She is the daughter of my father, but not the daughter of my mother, and she became my wife. Whoa. And it came to pass, And it came to pass, when God caused me to wander from my father's house, that I said unto her, This is thy kindness which thou shalt show unto me. At every place whither we shall come, say of me, He is my brother. So it's kind of a thing that they do whenever they go to
And
a
that's
place,
fucking crazy. Not
Yeah,
only, they are 100 years old. They are 90.
It kind of works.
90 to 100 years old. How hot is Sarah at 100 years old?
No, because they're not anymore. Remember, they got restored. God restored them to their younger selves. So, bro, but this is a thing that they do. They do this all the time, and it's kind of like a little scheme, dog. They got this little thing that they do that
that's
works.
a thing. Like, this just goes to show that is what God must have done for them, is restored their youth. Because why, at 100 years old, would Abraham still have to pretend this old lady is his sister for fear of these rulers taking her because of her awesome beauty? No.
Yeah. It's kind of, but it is. It's a little scheme that they got. It's
it's crazy.
It's a little thing that they do whenever they enter these new lands for whatever. They're probably either trading or just journeying, because they were kind of like a roaming type people. Yeah, because they're afraid that Abraham will get killed because someone's going to see his hot ass fucking wife and be like, that's mine, and just kill him. So instead of doing that, they do this little scheme, and then whatever happens, so if someone does come and they're like, hey, give me that woman, instead of killing him for her, he just gives her over, and then God deals with them. How crazy, dude.
And you think God intervenes every time?
Oh, yeah. Every single time.
It's kind of fucked.
Every single time. It is, but at the same time, to me, it kind of speaks of the world. That because Abraham is a stand-up person. So for him to feel like he has to do this in order to preserve his life, and then he also has the faith in God that because of this covenant between him and his wife, like Abraham and his wife, they're ordained under God. God literally restored both of them. Yeah, so anybody who fucks with his wife is going to be dealt with. So it's these people, like if they're just gonna come and see her and be like, all right, lady, you're mine, then God's gonna deal with you. It speaks to like adultery too, or like even just the sin of like lust, where instead of actually like getting to know anybody, you're just like, oh, hot chick, I'm gonna go take that, and then they take it and she's actually fucking married, so right. It's kind of a whole thing, and it's more savage world too. So violence was threatened a lot. People's lives were taken over the dumbest shit. Yeah. So someone would just go kill Abraham, and Abraham's like, I'm not dying today. We're just going to this place. But if something happens, you're my sister, all right? And then nothing crazy will happen because God's got our back. And it's a wild thing that goes on, but it works for them. Like, their lineage gets preserved, and they're both fine, and nothing bad happens to them or their people. It's fucking anybody who comes against them deals with God's judgment and wrath. It's fucking crazy, dude. And it came to pass, God caused to wander. She is my sister,
14.
daughter of my father. Okay. And Abimelech took sheep and oxen and manservants and women servants and gave them unto Abraham and restored him Sarah his wife. And Abimelech said, Behold, my land is before thee, dwell where it pleaseth thee. And unto Sarah he said, Behold, I have given thy brother 1,000 pieces of silver. Behold, he is to thee a covering of the eyes, unto all that are with thee, and with all other. Thus she was reproved. So Abraham prayed unto God, and God healed Abimelech, and his wife, and his maidservants, and they bare children. For the Lord had fast closed up all the wombs of the house of Abimelech because of Sarah, Abraham's wife. See, dude, crazy.
Yeah, man.
Like, God worked against them. But the thing is that Abimelech, he may have had that like moment of like lust, but as soon as he saw God in the dream, he was like, oh fuck. And he instantly is like, nope, why didn't you tell me? Now there's a curse on my whole nation and my house and us. Like, take her back. I didn't do anything. Take her back. And in order for Abimelech to be spared of death, he had to, Abraham had to pray to God and forgive him pretty much and pray for Abimelech's life. So Abimelech is spared of this sin through that,
Right.
And it's fucking nuts, dude. Bible's nuts, dude.
And like, again, it sounds like it all happens instantly, but this must have been a long period of time.
Yeah, it goes over a little bit of time for sure.
Right.
There's definitely some
like it wasn't all instantaneously.
Yeah, there's definitely leeway with the time scale when it comes to even verse to verse.
What gives me a sense of time is the fact that like Abimelech must have had time to notice that none of these women he was sleeping with were able to bear his children.
Yeah, so he must have
so at least a few weeks,
bit of time.
At least a few weeks, months.
Yep.
It's like, man, none of these girls I'm blowing it in or getting knocked up. What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm like trying to expand my I'm trying to expand my lineage here, I'm trying to, expand my house. And I mean, that was a very intentional thing too for like kings.
Right.
It's a very intentional thing. They're like,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I need a lot of kids, you know? And so they weren't just fucking just to fuck. They were doing it to actually like
It's business.
bear children. Like they were like, I need kids, and he's like, all right, so we got a schedule. I'm banging you tonight, and then tomorrow night I'm banging her, and then the other night I'm banging her, and by the end of the week, one of you will not have a period. Or by the end of the month, one of you will not have a period, and you are going to be pregnant with my next in line. Like, crazy. All right, Genesis chapter 21. And the Lord visited Sarah as he had said, and the Lord did unto Sarah as he had spoken. For Sarah conceived and bare Abraham a son in his old age at the set time of which God had spoken to him. And Abraham called the name of his son that was born unto him, whom Sarah bare to him, Isaac. And Abraham circumcised his son Isaac, being 8 days old, as God had commanded him. And Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born unto him. And Sarah said, God hath made me to laugh, so that all here will laugh with me. And she said, who would have said unto Abraham that Sarah should have given children suck? For I have borne him a son in his old age. And the children grew, and was weaned. And Abraham made a great feast in the same day that Isaac was weaned. And Sarah saw the son of Hagar, the Egyptian, which she had borne unto Abraham, mocking. Wherefore she said unto Abraham, cast out this bondwoman and her son, for the son of this bondwoman shall not be heir with my son, even with Isaac. And the thing was very grievous in Abraham's sight because of his son. And God said unto Abraham, let it not be grievous in thy sight because of the lad, and because of thy bondwoman. And all that Sarah hath said unto thee, hearken unto her voice, for in Isaac shall thy seed be called. And also of the son of the bondwoman will I make a nation, because he is thy seed. And Abraham rose up early in the morning, and took bread, and a bottle of water.
That's so funny.
Yeah. And gave it unto
Mine
Hagar.
changes it to water skin.
Yeah.
Water skin of water.
Because that's definitely better than... bottles feels like this shit to me.
Right.
And gave it unto Hagar, putting it on her shoulder, and the child, and sent her away. And she departed, and wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba. And the water was spent in the bottle, and she cast the child under one of the shrubs. And she went and sat her down over against him a good way off, as it were a bowshoot. For she said, let me not see the death of the child. And she sat over against him, and lifted up her voice and wept. So she ran out of water. She's wandering around the wilderness. She sets the child down. She don't want to see him die. So she goes a bow shot away from him. So good 30 yards, 40 yards. And she's crying. And God heard the voice of the lad. And the angel of God called to Hagar out of heaven, and said unto her, what aileth thee, Hagar? Fear not, for God hath heard the voice of the lad where he is. So, dude, he didn't even hear her crying. They heard the voice of the lad. You know why?
Why?
Because the voice of the lad is of the blood of Abraham, directly tied to God.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
He didn't hear Hagar crying. Who cares what Hagar's doing?
Right.
The lad is crying. He's in the bush probably freaking the fuck out because he's thirsty and hungry. He's a baby. And she just set him there.
Yeah.
And then freaking God's like, whoa, why is my dude fucking crying? My little baby man crying.
See,
and
what's
he goes
fucked
down
is
on the
it...
situation and talks to fucking Hagar because she's the only adult in the situation, and is like, why are you crying? you know?
It doesn't make it clear, and like maybe he did, but it doesn't make it clear if Abraham told Hagar that God said that even their son together would form a great nation. I will make or the son of the bondwoman, I will make a nation. So he should have told Hagar, like, yo, this kid is special. God said so, but I gotta fucking get you out of here.
Maybe there's a reason. Maybe Hagar knowing would have fucked things up.
Maybe.
You know, maybe it would have went to her head or something, or she might not be the best.
I mean, right away, God's gonna tell her.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, God has talked to Hagar before too. So through an angel. So I mean, she is, but it's all for Abraham's seed's sake.
Again, it's an angel.
Yeah, and an angel of God. Yes. Yeah, so God isn't actually speaking to her. It's God's sending angels to speak to her. So God's not even talking to her directly. God's talking to Abraham directly all the time. He's paneling it up, you know?
Right.
Like, crazy, dude. Crazy. All right. What aileth thee, Hagar? Fear not, for God hath heard the voice of the lad where he is. Arise, lift up the lad, and hold him in thy hand, for I will make him a great nation. So God took it upon himself to tell Hagar through an angel. And God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water, and she went and filled up the bottle of water and gave the lad drink. And God was with the lad, and he grew and dwelt in the wilderness and became an archer. Badass. And he dwelt in the wilderness of Haran, and his mother took him a wife. Oh, okay. For a second there, it made me feel like the mom took a wife, but no. The mom gave him a wife out of the land of Egypt. Okay, which is cool because Egypt is actually where Hagar grew up. Hagar is Egyptian, so she kind of was like, oh, here, take a nice Egyptian wife, after your old mom.
Right.
And it came to pass at the time that Abimelech and Phicol, the chief captain of his host, spake unto Abraham, saying, God is with thee in all that thou dost. Now therefore swear unto me, here by God, that thou wilt not deal falsely with me, nor with my son, nor with my son's son, but according to the kindness that I have done unto thee, and thou shalt do unto me, and to the land wherein thou hast sojourned. And Abraham said, I will swear. And Abraham reproved Abimelech because of a well of water, which Abimelech's servants had violently taken away. And Abimelech said, I wot not who hath done this thing. Neither didst thou tell me, neither yet heard I of it, but today. And Abraham took sheep and oxen, and gave them unto Abimelech, and both of them made a covenant. And Abraham set 7 ewe lambs of the flock by themselves. And Abimelech said unto Abraham, What mean these 7 ewe lambs which thou hast set by themselves? And he said, For these 7 ewe lambs shalt thou take of my hand, that they may be a witness unto me, that I have digged this well. Wherefore he called that place Beersheba, because there they swear both of them. Thus they made a covenant at Beersheba. Then Abimelech rose up, and Phicol, the chief captain of his host, and they returned to the land of the Philistines. First time we're hearing Philistines. And Abraham planted a grove in Beersheba, and called there on the name of the Lord, the everlasting God. And Abraham sojourned to the Philistines' land many days. Many days it took him to get to the Philistines.
I think that's a good spot to stop.
Yeah.
It's like a good break in the stories.
Yes, yeah, because now we have another story that's going to be coming up.
Yeah.
So we got through quite a bit with this one. A lot going on with Sodom and Gomorrah. These angels. A lot of God coming down and talking with Abraham. Like taking a very active role.
So who was Abraham's parents? Because when he said that his wife is actually his sister, but only a half sister, I'm like, wait a minute. Well, I was really trying to pay attention to the lineage. So where does Sarah come in, and how is she a half sister? But I don't know.
Right now going back. So let me do some checking real quick, just because that is something that is. So we got Noah in the ark.
That's forward.
Then,
or no, that's way back.
No, that's back.
I'm just kidding.
That's way back. It goes into a lineage after this, and we get to the blood thereof, saying Noah. Okay, there are 3 sons of Noah.
We need that family tree.
Ham, father of Canaan. Curse the Canaan, Shem, Japheth. Okay, so now we need to go forward just a little bit more. And sons of Gomer. Okay, so now we're getting here. Now these are the generations of the son of Noam, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Sons of Gomer, sons of Javan. These were the Gentiles divided. Where the fuck are you? Where are you, Abram?
Terah is Abram's father.
Who?
Sarah was barren, she had no children, and Terah took Abram his son, so Terah is Abram's father. And Lot, the son of Haran, his son's son. So Terah begot Abram. And who begot Terah?
Okay, so yeah, Terah lived 70 years and begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran. I don't know if we necessarily have a lineage because
you don't get Sarai's. You don't get Sarah's lineage.
It's only the boys that are getting the lineage. So the women, we don't get to see their lineage, which is kind of shitty. But I mean,
yeah. Now that I'm looking at it, whatevs.
So Sarah, she was half sister then.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like they had other options. What were they doing?
Bible. We stopped on 22, right?
Yeah.
Let me go back there. Yeah, that's pretty wild. I don't know, really. I think that there wasn't like a 10 Commandments thing, at the time. Well, you have to imagine too, dude. All of this stuff it's very linear. Yeah. Like we get a very linear unfolding. Like we sit today at the end of all of this.
And even today, people are out here doing shit that nobody approves of.
Yes. But we do have precedent for it now through these stories, through the historical precedents, through the Word of God and stuff. So. But before this, when things were unfolding, I mean, when the earth was wiped clean by a gigantic mega flood, and people were just trying to populate the earth, and you had people that were falling away from Creator and finding Nephilim, lowercase g, gods to follow, and striking up deals and creating their own lands with their own laws, and it was all just so open, like it was like Wild West of mankind, of civilized mankind, where we were out of Eden and upon the earth, and given the ability to, host nations and take what we wanted, like it was a different time. I mean, look at Sodom and Gomorrah. They didn't follow God's code.
They almost make it seem like lands are empty and open for the taking, but then it's almost like everywhere you go, there's a kingdom of people that need to be overtaken.
They did spread, they did spread out of after Eden, and after the ark, the sons of Noah, they did fan out, and they just started go forth and be fruitful and multiply is what God said.
Oh, like hell they did.
And they did.
They're like
they
motherfucking rabbits.
And I'm sure that half-sisters and things of that nature happened quite often.
Yeah.
And I think that in the beginning it was different, when things were first popping off, Probably finding people was a little bit tougher, so I bet that there were times when,
well, that's why God had to come down and
desperate.
say, hey, don't do that, because people were probably doing it like fucking crazy.
Well, not just that, we didn't need to anymore, and it was probably causing more harm than good. Like, in the beginning, it probably helped a lot of these bloodlines stay alive, bro. A lot of these nations and a lot of these people and a lot of these seed lines, they would have been gone if shit like that didn't happen.
You heard it here first, folks. Tommy approves of the incest.
No, I don't approve of it at all. I would definitely say in today's world, I mean, we have a precedent for it, especially with the new covenant, and yeah, we don't do shit like that.
No.
But I see where all of this is coming from. I try, as I said earlier, you have to step into it.
Yeah, you got to think about the time and the place and the people and the customs and the culture.
As much as is kind of omitted in detail with the Bible, I feel like there's still a lot of detail.
There's so much detail.
Yes. So there's a lot that is missing that people would like to, know a little bit more about. But there's also a lot there.
The thing is, when you know nothing,
to create the picture.
Right.
And
the thing is, if you know nothing, it does seem like a bunch of nonsense that doesn't make any sense.
Oh, 100%.
And then none of it really does mean anything at the end of the day. But when you can infer and read between the lines and then take some of the names that are there and make sense of them and figure out, okay, this is the general area and this was the general time and these were the people and these people connect to those people, so that's why it's significant, and like all of those things, like, and the reading between the lines, like sometimes it's one line, like Lot's wife looked back and turned to salt, and you can really tear that, like that's a whole thing that happened and it's just one line. Like there is actually isn't I'm gonna say something I fucking regret. Isn't there a book? Doesn't Lot get his own book?
Lot?
Yeah, doesn't Lot get his own book?
I don't think so.
Or it's Job, never mind. That's what I'm thinking. Book of Job. See, that's why I was gonna regret saying it. I'm wrong. I'm always wrong. Don't listen to anything I say, people.
Yeah, there's no book of Lot.
No, it's the book of Job. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. Just a 3-letter name. I got confused.
It's fine, dude. There's a lot to be confused of with this. It is like there's so much going on, and to keep track of it all is a little rough. I think that the whole like Bible study aspect of this is going to do a lot of good. You know, just the fact that you kind of get through some of it and you break it down, you get your understanding. Like if we're scratching our heads over a fucking verse, we definitely should try to dig into it a little more. Only thing that kind of is tough is with us doing this in this type of fashion where we're trying to make an episode out of it. I kind of feel like we should read it before doing the episode so that we could have some type of like, at the things that we scratch our head about, we could actually research it and then have like the answers for it.
Yeah.
But then it's like,
And also we'd
then
be
we're
reading
reading
it a
twice,
little bit, right? I mean, we
and
could put in the work for our viewers.
yeah, yes, yeah, actually, yeah. I mean, that is something that is a possibility.
Because usually we're
100%.
only doing 5 or 10 chapters. So a quick bzz, 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 wouldn't be too hard.
You know what I really think too is with getting comments from these episodes, that there's probably going to be a thing happening once we really go online with this and we have people following it with us.
Oh, people are going to be giving us a lot of shit and tearing us apart.
Not only that, but also giving us insights.
Yeah.
So after we drop an episode of Bible study, then we can read what people are saying, and we can come back to the table at the beginning of the next Bible study with the insights and things from the last one. And we'll do just kind of like a recap and a quick covering of the last episode.
Yeah.
And kind of get some shit, polished and keep it congruent in that way. We'll just keep going from episode to episode, and the beginning of the next episode will help cover and wash up whatever was dirty from the last episode, and we'll keep it going that way.
Yeah, I definitely look forward to hearing
bit.
back from our audience and having that shorter period of time in between uploads so that we can apply that feedback into our episodes.
Yeah. Yeah, this was a pretty good one. We didn't get super far. We got close to what we did last time, but it's okay.
It's all right.
This is going to be kind of a process that's going to be a little bit of like a feel type deal.
Yeah.
Last time we were able to just crank out freaking verses and chapters,
and by the end we lost chapters. So maybe that wasn't the way to do it.
No, 100%, because by the end of it, we both forgot 2 chapters worth of information because we were trying to crank it out.
Yeah.
And so that style didn't serve us as well.
Right.
And
so
at the end of the day, this is supposed to be kind of a Bible study.
Right. So we should just
I want to retain stuff.
Yeah. We should be paying more attention or putting more focus on getting the value out of chewing on what we're reading than trying to bust out content.
Yeah,
though
100%.
We do want to provide content for you guys.
Yeah, there's a part of us too that wants to get through. There's this feeling, like when you're a Christian or even just trying to get to know God. So you get the spirit. You want to read the book.
You want to get through it. You want to know it all.
You want to get through it, and there's like a pressure for that, and I think that pressure is something to be. I don't think that's something to heed by. I think it's something that you kind of want to put off.
Right.
Like, go after the book and digest it at your pace. And whatever pressure comes at you, stick an arm out and stiff arm the shit out of it. Just do it. Be steady with it. Like, keep going after it, but don't take more on than you can handle.
Right.
And make sure that you're actually understanding what you're reading.
Right. Well, we'll be coming at you at a steady pace to help you understand what we're reading here on our fucking Shepherd's Pie Bible Talk twice a month.
Yeah.
We'll be providing you.
I forgot what the name was, bro.
There's no name. I don't. We had a name. So leave comments for a name.
Yeah.
Or let us know what we said in our last episode.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going back to check.
The brain cells are trying.
Social medias are available. Check them all out. If we didn't get banned for reading the Bible on social media.
No, we'll be all right.
I know. I'm being fucking antagonistic.
Who knows? In a future time, maybe, but
All right.
you'll find us. You'll find
Right.
us.
For now, I'm gonna cut it right there because this keeps us at a nice square even 2 hours. So, yeah, do the social media thing, guys. We'll see you next time, whatever that will be. We don't know yet. Yet to be posted.
Bye, guys.
Peace.